Hi, beautiful Leo. Welcome to New Era. My name is Emma. Leo, this is your mid-month read, mid-September until mid-October, give or take. And we're going to start with an undercurrent energy here that is going to sort of be the foundation of your energy, of the reading for the month of September through October. And we're going to get all the cards on the table. We're going to clarify and really get into the message. And at the very end of this reading, we're going to have the angels come in to perhaps add something. Wow, that flip button come out. That's interesting. So I don't think I've ever had like a foundational thing flip but not come out. So we have money. They just want to show you that there's money in the works. It's not the foundation of the month, but there's definitely money in the works. Let's see if that comes out again. So we're going to see what the angels have to say, if they want to add something, if they want to uplift you with something, just inspire you with something at the very end of this reading. Also, I want to tell you that I've started with private readings. If you're interested in a personal reading with me, where you get to ask your own questions just like this, but just with your own questions, the description for that, the information for that is in the description box. What's going on for Leo, please? Mid-September until mid-October 2022. Okay, there's a 180 situation here. There's something that's like, there's a big turnaround. And we're going to see what that is. I'm very drawn to the fact that this tiger, if you look at the tiger's paws, like their leg, the tiger's legs, they're like both the legs are like underneath fog, or like, yeah, like a very sheer, like a veil or a sheer fog. Do you see that? I just interpret this. I also see like so much guidance here. I interpret this as like it's a little bit, you don't see the way forward. Does that make sense, Leo? It's like we don't quite, it doesn't mean that it doesn't move forward. It just means that you don't see quite the way forward. We have money showing up there, sort of like just a little like money is here, money is in the works. And there's something like moving forward here. Perhaps not knowing fully like the steps or the physical trail of it, but feeling that there's movement forward. This is also like a 180. So it talks about like going in one direction and then figure something out, or something falls into place, or there's a revelation of some sort. It can be like an epiphany or anything like that, where you just sort of do a 180. Like you completely like go, you thought you were going to go in one direction, and that might even be a direction you wanted to go in, or a direction you didn't want to go in. Like you thought it was going to end up here, but instead of here, it's going to be a turnaround. Like it's going to turn around and it's going to have a different outcome. There's a child sitting on top of that tiger being really, really happy about it. So it's not like the turnaround is not a flop in any way. The turnaround is not disappointment. The turnaround is happy results. Together with a big moon there in the back. That's interesting. So perhaps like really looking out for the moon cycles, like where you're at in relationship with the moon cycles, and how much that really actually affects you. I see a bridge. There's something like bridging over, making a connection. I've seen a lot of rainbows lately, like real ones outside. My little boy just the other day, he wasn't watching television, but like the television was shut off. But as he was looking into the television set, he's like, "Mom, there's a rainbow." I was like, "Where?" He's like, "Look in the television," and something reflected like from the floor and how the sun fell, and yeah, there was like a rainbow that just sort of showed up in the television. And so it shows up in all these different, I'm not saying you might see rainbows. I'm just saying whatever you see as a connection, as a sign, as guidance, is starting to show up for you. Meaning like you're bridging where you're at to where you want to be. You're bridging your idea to the manifested reality. You're, whatever that is, you're bridging it, okay? This is the foundational energy there. So we're going to see where all this leads. And I just see a lot of guidance there as well. Okay, what do you have for Leo here, please? For that foundation. Wow. They didn't want to come out, but they wanted to flip again. 3 of Michael. There has been a heavy past. Healing of the inner child. And coming into a new positive emotional experience. Ace of Raphael. Beautiful healing. That is just showing up, but it doesn't want to be a part of the what is coming out. Wow. The Empress is really strong, balanced, knows what she wants. Sometimes there can be like very much like a motherly instinct going on with the Empress. It is not necessarily a gender-specific reading, so I can't say fatherly, but I can say that there is a father that's going to have like a big instinct, but because the Empress is all about being like very motherly. Yeah. And then we have 8 of Michael, which is basically like you're more free than you think. You're more on the right path than you think. You're more towards what you want than you think. You could make really bold decisions and find out that it's really working out. And 5 of Michael, in this very situation, we have the turnaround there. Not seeing sort of things clearly, not seeing exactly how it's going to move forward. We have the Empress and we have 8 of Michael. And then we have 5 of Michael, which is basically like don't sweep things under the rug. Like be really honest and upfront, even if it's sometimes very confronting. People might be confronting, situations that you're dealing with might bite me confronting, but to not hide away from that, but just really face it head on. Don't sweep anything under the rug. It's like it's just not the right time to hide emotions or hide, like Leo, you're ruled by the heart. Leo's organ is the heart. Everyone's organ is the heart. But like in the zodiac, like Leo is linked to the heart. And you're such a loving being, and you can really, really have that heart outside, like sitting outside of your sleeve. And to really have that, to really put your heart outside there and just sort of go for it. Can we clarify this so that we can really get into the message? Clarifying the Empress, 8 of Michael, 5 of Michael. Both Empress and Michael is like a very strong action, moving forward oriented energy. And then with the sort of speed of the competition card there, the 180, it's big movement forward. Got stuck. Deception and envy. Interesting. Empress, 8 of Michael, 5 of Michael. Is there anything else we want to say here? We have deception and envy, number 7. And then we have emotional withdrawal, number 8. If you can see that. My little doggy has bit into this. Doggy is now in heaven. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so foundational energy here. You might not see the path clearly forward, the physical path. You probably have it clear energetically. Wherever you're headed, like moving forward towards, whether that is like a new job, a new relationship, a new like health regime, the money situation, the money showing up there, like trying to just have more money come into your life. Whatever this is for you. So general reads is going to be different for everyone. But the feeling here is that, okay, there's going to be a turning of events. Like there's a situation that you probably didn't see coming, or like you didn't see how it was going to manifest, or you didn't see how you were going to move forward. And there's a big turning of events, and it's a very happy, happy, happy child that this is taking place. Together with the Empress, time to act upon your plans. Creativity is rewarded. Luxurious or abundant resources. Luxurious or abundant resources. So what I'm really stuck on there is creativity is rewarded. There's something about like, you sort of just, it feels like you sometimes have a lot of ideas and then they just stick as ideas, and then you don't actually put them down on a piece of paper, or you don't actually manifest them or execute them is what I'm looking for. You don't really execute them. And so then you don't think that you don't think that too much is like, whether that is money or support or abundance or more opportunities coming your way. But the fact that they're not, like, you are the Empress and you have what it takes, Leo. You have what it takes to succeed. You have the tools, you have the experience, you have the wisdom, you have everything you need in order to move forward with something. And then it's like it gets stuck in the planning stage or in the idea stage, if that makes sense. Or like you think about doing something, but then it stops at thinking about it and you don't actually execute it. And I feel a couple of things there are going on. So for instance, I'm going to use it as a relationship thing. So if you're in a relationship and you feel like you want to end it, so we can go both ways here. You feel like you want to end a relationship. You have an idea about it, you're thinking about it, you have really sort of slept on it, you know that's the right thing to do for you. But then you get a little bit stuck in that idea. Like it's like you just stay on the idea level, or like where you don't get to actually execute the situation. Maybe because you're thinking about other people, like how are other people gonna, well, other people, the opposite person, the person you're gonna want to release, like how are they gonna react, respond? You know, and that's always a tough one. You know, it's a tough one. But if you and your inner being have really come to the conclusion that that is the best outcome for you right now, to really trust to follow that and know that you have what it takes to do so. The opposite as well. If you're single, Leo, and you're looking for love, you're looking for romance, you want that partnership, and you have that idea that you want this partnership. Maybe you're written down like specifically what you're asking for, what you're looking for. You might visualize them, you might like do all these things, but it's gets stuck on an idea level. The Empress is here to execute it. Like the Empress, that's what I'm saying. It's a 1-8, like this is go for it. Just do, follow through with your idea. The 180, 2 Michaels, and then, you know, the Empress is like it's like a situation that calls for action. That we can't, if there's a nervousness, if this is not relationship related, like it can be anything. If this is a job situation, for the longest time you've been wanting to quit your job, or for the longest time you've been wanting to start up your own business, or get this idea rolling, write a book, whatever it is, like just start a new career, and you're at the idea level, and you know the idea can only run for so long. I listened to, that was a while back, I listened to what's his face, famous director, E.T., one of our most famous directors, and you probably know who directed E.T. I'm not going to think of his name now for whatever reason. Anyway, he just said if there's anything that he learned, and he wanted to sort of instill in his grandkids as they were still so young, that the moment you have an idea and it might have been, you know, percolating a little bit. It might have been just, you know, just brewing a little bit underneath. But as it sort of comes up and becomes crystal clear, it's like it is that aha or epiphany, or like, this is what I'm going to do. This is the direction. This is what I'm feeling. To like not sit on it, or not let it then run for another couple of weeks or months, but just act instantaneously. He was like, that is like the way to manifest things, to just act when it's fresh in your mind, act when the idea is fresh, is when he felt the biggest like receiving back what you want. Starting to talk yourself out of it, or starting to like, yeah, you can sit on it for a day or two to just really be clear that this is where you're headed, but you don't really need all that much more time to figure something out. Like your inner being will let you know. And so it's time for that action forward. And we have 8 on Michael. So there might be something here that is saying that you're more stuck than you think. It's like you're now talking back to me saying, well, it would be so easy to just start this business if I just had the means to do so. Yeah, I would break up with this person if blah, blah, blah. It's like there's a lot of, I don't necessarily want to call them excuses, but there's a lot of misperceptions, or a lot of, there's a belief here. For whatever reason you created the belief, there is a belief here thinking that you're more stuck than you actually are. Thinking that you're not as free as you actually are. You have already opened the gates there. Like the gate is open. We do have those shackles in the back that are sitting on like around your leg, but the doors are open. The window of opportunity is right there. And it's like, for whatever reason, we're a little bit focused in there on being stuck. Do you see around her legs? The shackles there, like one is stuck around one leg and then the other rope. The rope is like completely loose, but it's sitting, it's like you have one foot in it. You see the blue scarf there in her hands. It's like a lot about authenticity and speaking your truth and walking the path of authenticity, like walking the path of what you really want to do and not take no for an answer. I just feel like there's mind ghosts. Hjärnspöken, I would say in Swedish. Like there's mind ghosts. There's like, okay, and then I hear like someone sort of almost arguing with me, saying, because I was gonna go and say, there's mind ghosts here. Like they're actually what you think is in the way of what you want. What you think is in the way of what you want, or what you think is lacking for what you want. So lacking meaning, I don't feel the means here. I don't have the means to start my own business. I don't have the means to go on this trip. I don't have the courage or means or, tools to break up with this person. I just don't have it in me to go this path. Whatever you feel is in the way of that, or whatever you feel is lacking, is not. Those are mind ghosts. And then I just feel like someone is coming back to me arguing, saying, well, there is someone in the way. Like there is a person in the way. There's a person stopping me, hindering me from doing the thing that I want to do. And even though they are that real, that it actually is a person there, sort of maybe even making it really, really known, because we have a little bit of a vibe here going on, that someone's making them be known to you that they're not liking what you're doing, or like they want to not have you move forward. They are still mind ghosts. You can eliminate that from your reality. They don't have to play a part in your moving forward. Abraham says, you're so free you can choose bondage. Choose bondage. You're so free, you can choose bondage. You're so in the driver's seat of deciding what you want will happen that you can actually create what you want to happen, and then you create the obstacle to get there. It's freaking annoying, and it's a paradox. Because as much as you create or want to create the dream, you created the obstacle to get there. So if you can create the obstacle to get there, you can create the dream, because the obstacle and the dream carries the same energy. It's just thought. It's thought with a belief behind it. It's your imagination. Like, how large is your imagination? Where does it stop? Where does it end? Because your manifestation ends where did I say the right thing? Your manifestation ends where your imagination ends. You're more free than you think. It says you can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation. Not seeing things clearly. Michael is right there behind you. 8 is about power and strength and endless possibilities. The door is open for you. You can sort of go for what you want and release your mind ghosts. Because those are the only things that are in the way from what you want. And yeah, does it take a little bit of practice? Sure. Absolutely. 5 of Michael is about sweeping things under the rug, but it's sort of the opposite here. I just feel like you're not sweeping things under the rug. You're inspired to not sweep things under the rug. You're inspired to not hold your emotions down or keep something to yourself or hold it in. Or so this relationship just keeps coming up. So for someone, this is probably really, really important. I feel like someone is in a relationship and you do not want to be there anymore. You just feel like it has run its course. I don't feel like a big argumental conflict drama situation. I feel like this is something that happened with my oldest son who's now 22, and his father. When we went our separate ways, I took a good, I think almost like 1.5 years. We'd been together, like we probably were together between like 5 or 6 years from the moment where my son was born. We were together prior to my son being born also, but like after that, I think it was like 4 years or something. And when 4 years was up, I was like, I knew the relationship wasn't going anywhere. We weren't fighting at all. We probably never once raised our voice to each other. And like, he is just the kindest man, and he's just beautiful in every single way. And people were floored, like people were shocked when I said like I wanted to leave the relationship. But the information was dead. Like, it was no more exchange. I just felt it, that like this is where the road ends. And it took me another 1.5 years to break it off. I was really young then, and I was really afraid to miss out. I was afraid to miss out, and I was really afraid of hurting him. And I was so determined, like I was gonna be one of those people, you know, that we're not gonna break up with my person. I'm gonna have a son here. We're gonna have children. We even tried to have several children, but there never was another several children because we were not supposed to stay together. And it took me so long to break it off because it was okay. But where I was headed, I wasn't okay with okay. I needed more, and eventually I broke it off. But I feel the same thing here. It's like, and if that is like a business situation, like you're at this job and this job is sort of starting to eat at you. It's not the worst job in the world, and it pays fairly well, and it's like, it's okay, you know, you're good there. But you've been there now, and you know this now, and it's not a challenge for you anymore. It's not I like to say that there's no more information to exchange anymore. And it doesn't matter if it's a person or a situation, like an experience. An experience can really give a lot of information. A job can really give, it feels like it can be like an alive entity, your job, where it's giving and giving and you give it back. And it's like, it's intriguing, and it's like, it's passionate, and it's fascinating and challenging, you know. When that has come to an end, it just means like you don't have any more to give in this situation, and the situation has no more to give to you, and it's time to move on. And this is not the time to be fine with it and sweep your emotions under the rug, or not talk about it, or not sort of listen to what your inner being is telling you. Or the opposite. If it's time for you to really jump on this opportunity is sitting right in front of your face, and has been sitting there for a bit, and it looks like it's just not going away. It's been there for you to really sort of step on this train. But for the longest time, like we have the turnaround here, and we have the Empress, we have two Michaels. Like, go for it, do it. Whether that is breaking off something or jumping on something, like jump on an opportunity, start your new business, say yes to that person who's been trying to ask you out for a million times. Like, say yes to it if it feels right, obviously. But if that's not the, so you have come to the conclusion, I do not want to be in this relationship anymore, or you've come to the conclusion, like, you feel this person really intriguing, you are really, really interested in finding out more about this person or this job or this business. Like, it's time to move forward. It's time to say yes. I think that one of the reasons why you're not saying yes, one of the reasons why you're not getting yourself out of a situation is because the result, okay, so let's say you're going for this business and you're really like going full out with everything that you are and everything that you have. You might think that in the ethers, in the essence, in the surroundings, there might be people being really harsh, being really judgmental of what you're doing, wanting to like see you probably not succeed, being jealous, being envious. And the same thing, like if you want to remove yourself from a relationship, you might have this idea that it's not going to end well. Like, that person is going to throw a fit if you try to leave them. And we have emotional withdrawal there. There's something here, like it's a little bit of la 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 la. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to do it. I just want to continue forward. I'm just not ready to make this move just yet. Again, I want you to treat this as mind ghosts. For the majority of Leo, these are mind ghosts. You're playing out a scenario. I was talking to one of my sisters the other day, and she had this thing that she needed to address with her son's father. They're no longer together. And she had played out over and over again what she was so sure that he was going to say. She was so sure he was going to have this response. And she was like, oh, how do I face him? Like, how would I meet him? What do I tell him? And I just told her that just see it work out. Don't try to look at exactly what he's saying, the words he's going to choose. Just look at, like, as an inner vision, look at it as his thumbs up. Like, he's just going to have his thumbs up. She's like, man, I don't know. Like, he's always so set in his ways about this. Like, he is going to throw a fit. And I was like, you don't really actually know that. She knew that based on how many times that has happened before. Well, this time is new. And so for the most of you, these are mind ghosts. And so guess what happened when she called him? So she had this whole story about what he was going to say. And then she called him, maybe doing like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes of work where she saw him with the thumbs up. Like, cool. And then she rang me back and she was like, you won't believe what just happened. Well, I think I can. She was like, he didn't even react. He was like, sure, if you think that's like the right thing to do, go ahead. And she was like, and I was prepared with the defense talk. I was prepared with like, and then she was like, okay, like, is that it? Like, I don't have to even push for it a little bit? You don't know what's going to happen. And for the majority of you Leos, right now, whatever it is that you're doing and you're seeing the result of it, whether it's something you want to get yourself into, you think is going to sort of fail, or you think is going to be bad, or you think going into something is going to have other people react in a negative way, or getting yourself out of a situation, you think that those people are going to react in a negative way. And for the most of you, this is mind ghosts. You're making it up. You're making the story up in your head. Maybe correctly so, because it has happened so many times before. But not this time. And I just want to say, even if it is this time, treat it as if it is a mind ghost. Treat it as if the reaction that you're getting, oh, that was just something in my head. And then it's almost like if you wake up from a dream and the dream feels so, sometimes they're so vividly real. And then you just brush it off because it was just a dream. Oh, thank God, it was just a dream. It's just a dream. If you act like that towards any person's reaction, any person's not happiness for you, whatever this is, even trying bluntly to sabotage things, treat them as they are a dream. Oh, thank God, they're just a dream. I don't have to think about that anymore. And then brush it off and go to where you want to go in your mind. And this might be two things here is coming up now after I said all of that is like, okay, so you're having a 180 in your life. You're going in, you thought you were going to go in one direction with something, and it turns out it's going to go in a completely different direction. And going in that completely different direction might have people react in your surroundings, okay? The other thing is that you have people reacting in your surroundings, and you thought they were going to react in a certain way, but it turns out you're going to have a completely 180, like you're going to have a complete different reaction from your surroundings than you thought. Final message here for Leo, please. Is there anything additional, anything inspirational? What do you want to tell Leo, please? Aurora, Fiona, and Bethany. So Aurora, you are flying high right now, which you are flying high right now, which may threaten others. But don't descend, because others will soon become inspired by your example. So don't lower yourself to anyone else's level. Don't dim that shine of yours. Don't play it smaller than you are, so that you don't have to have this reaction from others. Be as big as you are and let the consequence be. Because not only is it going to make you feel happy and you feel content, for some of you, they will even be inspired. At the end of the day, they will be inspired by your example. And then we have Bethany. When you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as a massage, sea salt bath, or a pedicure. And that's very, very particular. That's very detailed. So obviously, whatever you feel is something that is relaxing or like being very healthy for your well-being, to just do that. If it's even like for me, it's like just getting more sleep in. Just get more sleep in there so that your overall well-being, if you get the sleep in, if you get water in, if you're doing those things, you're taking care of yourself, that is going to reflect so beautifully on your surrounding. And that seems to be very important right now. And then we have Fiona. Now that you've asked the angel for help, be open to receiving divine guidance and assistance. You deserve heaven's help. So I asked the angels for some additional answers here, but perhaps you, Leo, have asked them as well. You might have asked your angels for help or assistance or guidance. And now that you're getting the guidance, now that you're getting the assistance, stay open to it and receive it. Allow it in when the angels come to help you, because you deserve it. That's what I have for you, Leo. I hope that's uplifting and inspirational. Again, if you're interested in a personal reading, please check it out in the description box and send me a message, and we'll take it from there. I thank you so much for coming here and listening to these videos. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. It really helps me. And also consider to press the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. And you don't show up anywhere if you're afraid that you're going to show your face or something. For whatever reason that you haven't already subscribed, if you keep showing up here, it really helps the channel if you subscribe. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.